Hi, my name is Magdalina Sylvain, founder and CEO of Allwayz REDD. In Always, remain enlightened and defeat deception. All right, so today I want to talk about being an effective goal getter, right? How do you become an effective goal getter? Since the new year started, the last vlog I did, I talked about pulling out those weeds. It's time to pull out those weeds, right? When you pull out those weeds, I said represent your negative thoughts, and they also represent friends, right? Negative friends, those black clouds that can tend to hold you down, hold you back. Same like the negative thoughts, they tend to hold you down and hold you back. All right, so today what I wanted to talk about, the reason why that's so important to pull out those weeds is because that is the main way to become an effective goal getter, right? I want to share this story with you from Numbers 13 in the Bible. It's that story about the Israelites when God took them out of Egypt, and then he took them out and promised to take them to the promised land, right? So he removed them from slavery. They were in bondage, right? They were there, and Moses came and he freed them. I like to look at the Bible. It doesn't always mean what it says so bluntly. There are different layers to it. So I like to believe that the slavery was also a representation of being enslaved with your mind, not seeing the truth, not seeing everything the way you need to see it, right? So you become a slavery to your thoughts. So here God comes and he rescues them and promises them a land flowing with milk and honey. Like, come with me, trust me. Moses got them, he freed them, he defeated their enemies. God made it happen. He fed them. And then now it was time to enter the promised land, right? So when it was about time to enter the promised land, before he did that, he sent 12 people to go to scope out this promised land, right? So that's kind of like the same as you get this great idea or you start your goal and everything is going good, but before you go and, dive in, you want to go and do some research. You want to investigate and make sure everything is up to par, right? You can achieve this goal, or you can do what it is that you're saying that you want to do. So they go. So they come back, and 2 of the 12 say that the land was amazing. Like, everything that God said was true. It was flowing with milk and honey, and they truly would be surrounded by such beauty, and the fruits were so big and fruitful, like the trees, everything. It was just a prosperous location, right? And then the other 10 was like, yeah, all of that is true, but there goes the negativity, but that's a lot of things that our friends do, or those thoughts start to pop in. Yeah, you can do it, but once those buts starts to creep in, you start to doubt yourself. So what happened was those 10 that started with the but said that they're giants, they really look like grasshoppers compared to those people. They're gonna defeat us. There's no way we can go and take possession of this land. Does that sound familiar? Does that sound like once you start your goal, you go and you investigate and you believe in the beginning that you can do it, and you start, and then it starts to look a little bit bigger. Maybe this is impossible. Maybe, oh my gosh, maybe I'm kidding myself. Maybe I can't do it. This is a huge vision, right? I don't think that I can make it through. And then next thing you know, what happens? You're defeated. They won. Those negative thoughts or your negative friends win, right? And the reason why I say they win is because in the story, what happened was those 10 people infected everyone else. They were like yeast, right? This is why I say we need to pull out these weeds, and we need to pull them out quickly. If you do not, they will drown you out, and you will not see your goal to come to fruition, okay? So what happened? Because of that, they went and infected everyone else. So much so, guess what? They wanted to go back. They'd rather go back into slavery. Oh my gosh, I don't think we can ever make it. How are we going to beat these people? What were we thinking? Do you feel like that too? Like you start pursuing this goal and these thoughts start going in your mind and you're like, oh my goodness, what am I doing? That's exactly what happened in Numbers 13. Go check out the story. It's one of my favorite stories ever, right? So then they're like, oh my goodness. And then so much so they wanted to go back to slavery, right? That's what happens. You start pursuing a goal right? And you step out of your comfort zone and it feels so uncomfortable. What do you want to do? You want to retreat. You want to go back, right? You want to go back to where you feel safe, where you feel comfortable. But in order for you to be an effective goal getter, you can't. You got to keep marching forward. You got to keep going, and God will not fail you. I promise you that. A lot of the goals that I have achieved, I remember, I know my stomach would hurt. I feel uncomfortable. It's scary. You don't know if it's going to work. Guess what? I just keep pushing through and I just give it to God. I surrender. So I'm telling you, you got to remove these weeds from your life, those negative thoughts, those negative friends, right? This is what I was talking about the other day. Get rid of those weeds. That's how you become an effective goal getter. And the reason why, again, it is so important is you cannot and you will not see and know who you are as long as there are a bunch of weeds in your mind, a bunch of weeds surrounding you. And in order to be an effective goal getter, you need to know thyself. Know thyself. You need to know, what is it that you want? What is it that you're pursuing? Making sure whatever it is, it's not someone else's dreams. It's not something practical, right? A lot of times we pursue goals that we think are practical, goals that make sense. I became a registered nurse because guess what? It was practical. I know I could take care of my family. I know I would never be, broke. I would be okay. I could feed my family. But guess what? I went through those 4 years, got my bachelor's. I'm a registered nurse, worked in it for 6 months, and I had to quit. It wasn't who I was. I didn't take my time to know myself. And a lot of the other reason was fear, right? We do things and make decisions based out on fear. So know yourself. And the only way you can know yourself and be an effective goal getter is by removing those weeds, your negative thoughts and your negative friends. And just a side note, don't hate those negative friends, those friends that in their minds, they're doing you a service. In their minds, they really think that they're helping you. They don't realize what they're doing is wrong. So you don't leave them in anger and hating on them. No, you actually kind of pray for them and wish that their minds become enlightened, right? You just you start to fade away from that friendship. That's how I did it. I just kind of faded away from some of my friendships, some family members as well. I had to fade away because they were just not healthy for me. So I talked about those weeds, removing them. Today, I confirmed it with you by sharing with you just one story. There's so many different stories that show you that you have to be mindful about what we're thinking about, be mindful about who your surroundings are, because in order for you to be an effective goal getter, right? You got to have those in check, because that's the only way you'll be able to think clearly, right? And see things clearly, all right? God bless you. If you love this video, please share it. I appreciate the love for all of you that do follow me. Join my mighty network, Allwayz REDD Community, and subscribe, all right? God bless you, and always red. In all ways, remain enlightened and defeat deception, all right? Take care.